Oh, right. No, 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 Andy. Do not say spring is here. Do not say, hey, spring is sprung. Or any other kind of cute saying that even implies that springtime is here in Montana. I mean, come on. We might have a little bit of nice weather for a stretch. But seriously, it snows in July in Montana. So, seriously, it really does. It really does. But before we get into the snowing in July, I would be amiss. Would it be a miss? Swinging a miss? No, a miss if I did not give a big thank you and a big shout out to our sponsor, our advertiser, our partner in crime, the Great Falls Gazette. It is still only $1. It's really nice. It's local news. It's local sports. What we got? We got some obits in here. The animal shelter is in it every week, which I really like because it's got the adopt and all the other things in it. But it's like the newspaper that it used to be, and Great Falls Tribune is what? It's people are in Helena. They deliver it by mail. They don't have any reporters. You know what would be cool, though, about the Great Falls Gazette? I mean, you can pick it up for $1, but if we were, I want to see my smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh, yeah. I got a freaky old lady named. All right. There you go. Big shout out to the Gazette. They're on board. Good to have you. Like I said, man, it's a sunny day today. It's a Monday, April 22nd, which is Happy Earth Day, everybody. Yeah, all right. Happy Earth Day. Of course, this weekend. Yeah, this weekend. I hope you all enjoyed your 420 Saturday. Huh? I did the old dispensary crawl. It's kind of like a pub crawl, except you remember it the next day. Yeah, it's greener. And now that it's legal, most of the country has become sort of it's been a kind of, we got Cinco de Mayo, and we got this, and we got that, but it's been sort of it's like sort of a holiday, isn't it? They had bands in Missoula, they had bands in Billings. Big shout out to Brandon Holistic. There you go. There we go. Great Falls Gazette, Holistic, 2 Great Falls businesses. Support local business. Yeah. Smoke a bowl, read the newspaper. Can I say that, Annie? I just did. All right, then. All right, I just did. So we just, like I said, it is April 22nd. It is Earth Day. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Get together, everybody. Try to love one another right now. All right. Yeah, it's like the first Earth Day. Yeah, it's a big deal. It was a big deal. It was a really big deal when it first started, but it was the first Earth Day. I'm glad you asked, Andy. I'm glad you interrupted and asked, when was the first Earth Day? Like I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to leave people in suspense. First Earth Day happened 54 years ago today. It was 1970. Richard Nixon, I am not a crook, was president. I was in junior high school. The whole country was just embroiled. We had all the marches and protests about the Vietnam War. Okay, it was just everybody was smoking everywhere. You know, it was the Mad Men calling, "We're smoking everywhere in schools." Junior high school had a smoking area. Junior high school had a smoking area. Okay, we were smoking everywhere. Okay, what was gas? Throw it up there. April 22nd, 1970, April gas was 36 cents a gallon. Okay? Yeah, but it's the president's fault that gas is now I think the interesting thing that we saw this morning was that over 2/3 of the Americans, they weren't even born yet. When I was in junior high, and 2/3 of Americans today weren't even born yet by night when I was doing the first Earth Day. Today, the Earth Day is about, eco fairs and recycling parties. Oh, let's go have a recycling party at brunch, and we're going to save the environment by picking up a couple of bottles. But back in the 1970, when the first Earth Day happened, activism still had a bite. Okay, it had a bite. You know, activism back in this. We're talking 1970. Okay, have you ever listened to me talk about music? 1970 is smack dab right there in the middle almost of where I'm usually talking about classic album-orientated rock. Okay? So, activism, what were we doing, Andy? What were you doing in 1970? We were protesting a foreign war, Vietnam at that time. Now, are they protesting Ukraine and Israel? We were marching for equal rights. We were marching for women's rights. We were marching for black rights. Fighting for the planet. Just seemed like a good idea, a natural progression or whatever. Okay, it was just seems like something that made sense, and plus they took advantage of it. The founders of Earth Day thought, first of all, if you go back and research, we're saying that the people, the organizers, thought that it was a good way to get blacks and whites on board. Even though they were on board together on the war, on women's issues, and even on a lot of blacks' rights issues. I remember back in the days, we were, peace, let's protest, but it was, the time was right. Not only that was the time right, but there was a domino events, or or there, the domino theory, or whatever events that happened in 1969, the summer of love. They're walking on the moon. Yeah, we're walking on, but there's a disaster. In 1969, there was an oil rig that exploded. They boom, there's like oil. Madden was covering it because it was back. We got the oil rig, and it was like boom, it exploded, and there's oil over here. It's the big one, Andy. I was getting worked up about Madden. I mean, for crying out loud. But there's the oil rig that exploded in Santa Barbara. And it was spilling millions and millions of crude oil. It's just washing up on the beach, on some of California's finest beaches in Southern Cal. This for the first time, in 69 America's shores. It was basically a shot heard around the world for environmentalists, people that were getting involved in the cause. That same year, we're talking about the summer of '69. Yeah, Bryan Adams wasn't even alive. Anyway, we're talking about the summer of '69. The Detroit. Okay, we had the oil spill. This is okay. Then in Detroit, the Detroit River, which is a little strait between Windsor, Ontario, and Detroit, Michigan, and the not the Tallahatchie, the Cuyahoga River. Now, it was in Ohio, I believe, Andy. Caught on fire. You heard me. Fire! Fire! And fire! We caught on fire. Fire! Like Beavis, right? Fire! They, come on. They caught on fire. I remember, this was in 1969, so we're doing the science fair. I am. In school in Michigan, and my project was pollution, because everybody was talking about it in 1969. I remember I did the whole science fair. They don't have science fair anymore. They have like STEM festivals, or I don't know who plays at a STEM festival. Probably the Dave Matthews Band. I don't know. But we had science fairs, and I did a project on biodegradable products versus the products that they were using at the time, and, setting rivers on fire. And I had pictures of the river burning, and burn, Of course I didn't win. That's like Beavis. We didn't get consolation prizes, too, but I did come in in my school, I came in my school, I did well. I did like second in my school. So I went to district, and then district I did a white ribbon, or tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, and I toured Orlando. No, I did not do a science project on touring Orlando. Jesus, Andy, pay attention. All right, so rivers are catching on fire. There's catching on fire the kids are doing science fair projects. So we had oil spills that are in the ocean in California. I remember driving. My dad sometimes used to have to go to Chicago, and sweet home Chicago. He had to go to Chicago, and I'd go, can I go? Can I skip school? And I'd go. And I remember driving with my dad, and I think it was 80. We'd take Interstate 80, or we'd drop down, take 80, and you'd go to Chicago, okay? And I remember before you got to Chicago, there was Gary, Indiana, okay? And Gary, Indiana wants me. Lord, I can't go back there. You knew I was going to do it, okay? Anyway, we're driving to Chicago. You get to Gary, Indiana, and there's a red, like, mushroom cloud hovering over the town, like Pigpen on the Peanuts cartoon, but except in walking, it was horrible. You'd stop in Gary, you'd get lunch or something. I don't know why Dad wanted to stop in Gary for lunch. You get to Gary, stop until you come back out, and scrape the car, and there'd be like this red film. It was horrible. Okay. We had the Seven Sisters in Detroit, and people in Montana will know. Here in Great Falls, they had the big stack here down in Anaconda. They got another big stack. Big smokestacks, all right. Seven Sisters were 7 of them in Detroit. 7. I don't know. 7, and basically they be like cartoons, like smoke, smoke, smoke on the water. There's fire in the sky. But yeah, that's what we had going. That was normal. Okay, that's what was normal. Meanwhile, the science, she blinded me with science, okay, started doing studies and shit. Like, let's see what's going on here. And they showed that the major problems in New York, Newark, New Jersey, especially Los Angeles, California, where it was like living there was like smoking, 2 packs a day because of the air pollution. Right. I moved from Detroit with the Seven Sisters, okay, just spewing pollution in the air. I moved to Missoula. Okay, went to high school in Missoula with the air inversions, where you'd go out, and I talked about it in previous podcasts, where you'd walk out and the sky would be yellow and red at night from the streetlights, and the snow would be. We had like mills and mills and mills. Oh, we had Hornwaldorf, Buttermills, Champion, International. Okay, they're all just, okay, it's the 70s or 60s, okay, so, when Earth Day arrived in 1970, okay, like I said, it was organized, the people were organized and did it, and right, Andy, people, wasn't like some haphazard thing that happened. There was organized on this day, April 22nd, 1970, at 54 years ago, tens of, and we got, it's right up here. I left it up here in case somebody wanted me to throw the screen around, but you can Google all this. This is articles just up and down the wang dang doodle on this. Tens of millions of people took the streets all across the nation on this day. In total, what we were seeing is more than 15,000 communities, 1,500 colleges, 10,000 grade, primary, high schools, all hosted events that were, we're going to clean up the environment. Newspapers, articles at the time, like the Detroit News, the Detroit Free Press, Chicago Sun-Times. That was like when newspapers were really a reliable source. Yeah, we're plugging the Great Falls Gazette again. But total people, Andy, total participants, total participants, conservatively, they had it at 20 million people across the nation. But the sheer scale of the day, 20 million estimate, it just made it impossible. Every community was getting involved. And schools were getting involved. It was a big deal. I remember. Okay, here we go, and here we go. I remember. It's amazing for all the brain cell damage that I've done in my life that I remember. But I remember the first Earth Day was in April of 1970. We all know that. I've been boom, 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 54. And I was in junior high school in Detroit. And the Detroit suburb, I was in Farmington Hills, Andy, not Detroit, but it was Wayne County, Oakland County. Yeah, Farmington Hills is in Oakland County. That suburb of Detroit, 14-mile road. So I was 5 miles from the city limits. We all got out of school. Everybody's out of school. We're like, all right, we're out of school, And then we thought we could just go home, but no, all the teachers, you got to go here. We're all outside, clean up crews. We all did all sorts of stuff. Then there was a free lunch, and then there was nothing to do. But there was a free concert downtown, Circle Park, Detroit. They only had a bunch of local bands that played. We had, I think, the Mitch Ryder, the MC5, Grand Funk Railroad. I think there was a Motown band, Martha and the Vandellas. Just some local bands from Detroit. Yeah, fire! Sorry. By the next year, I was in high school, and I had moved to Missoula. I was going to Missoula Sentinel. And I remember that the next year, a year after that, I don't remember which year. I don't know if it was my freshman or sophomore year. I would think my sophomore year, because we were partying a little bit. Well, we were partying my freshman year too. But I remember that we all got out of Sentinel again. We all made our own crews up. We're cleaning stuff up. We all went up to Blue Mountain and cleaned up the Kager sites and anything. And then I remember when we were done, we headed out to, I remember when we were done, I hooked up with my bro, Don Doffman. Love you, Don. Always talking about you. Too much, too, man. We went hooked up, went up, said, I was going to smoke a couple doobies, and headed up to the campus of the University of Montana. I remember the Mission Mountain Wood Band was playing. Yeah, another local band. If anybody's from Montana, anybody watching the podcast, you're going to know who Mission Mountain Wood Band is. Yeah, they were playing. So, it was a party, but we were doing something. I can't imagine 20, 30 million people getting together now for any kind of cause. And I mean any kind of cause. Oh, no, it's this or that. Oh, no. You guys they can't even agree if the planet's round or flat. They're going to get together and clean the environment? No. Anyway, I don't know, the outpouring, I guess you would say, the just sheer volume of activity by so many people from coast to coast did make a big political impact too. Then President Richard, I am not a crook, Nixon, yeah, I'm going to do it every time. I remember the campaign that he had. No, can I say? Yeah, I can say that because it was Richard or Dick Nixon, and there was a poster that was around when I was growing up. It had two elephants in an amorous position, and the caption said, "Don't change dicks in the middle of a screw. Vote for Nixon in '72." So I remember, like all the crazies, but the pressure was on old Tricky Dicky so much that he was not known as hardly a bleeding heart at all. He passed the National Environmental Protection Act, along with the Clean Air Act and the Endangered Species Act. It really sucked before we had the first Earth Day. That's why they had it. I wish people would do more than brunch today, but they seem to, all that's what they want to do. Let's go to the brunch and recycle. I know. So get out there and clean up today, everybody. Come on. Let's do it! All right. NFL draft starts this Thursday in the Big D in Detroit. It's a big deal for fans and teams. This is a big draft, as they always are. I like it that it's a big at home. They had the big commercial with Roger Goodell and Eminem. If you haven't seen it, you got to Google Roger Goodell and Eminem and watch the commercial for the draft. Analyst, and everybody's still saying Caleb Williams. He's the quarterback from University of Southern California Trojans. He's projected as the number one pick, but I don't see it. I'm not biased. I'm not this or that. I'm not a Caleb hater. I just think he brings problems. His dad's involved. He thinks problems. I think that Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU, is a better quarterback anyway, and a better pick. Detroit Lions, the home team, Detroit Lions don't pick till like, was it 17th, 18th, 19th, they're looking, rumor is they're looking at Mikey Sanderstill to make the big push. It's Sanderstill with the interception! Sanderstill, a convoy! Michigan, national champion! They're looking at drafting that. So wouldn't that be great to get more defensive help in Detroit? And what better way to pair, can you imagine him and Mikey Sanderstill and Adrian Hutchinson are on the defense of the Lions? Man, he said the draft starts Thursday. So, yeah, it'll be on, I think it's on ESPN. I'm not going to watch it. What I'll do is I'll log in once in a while, look up the Lions and see what they do, and then at the end I'll see what happened. Yes, sir, the NFL and the NBA playoffs are already on the way. It's April. It's like late April. They're both just starting. They won't end till June sometime. Oh, seriously, yeah. Yeah, NBA and NHL, National Hockey and National Basketball playoffs? Oh, heck no. In June. NBA Finals are in June. I think the hockey ones are in 2. Who do I like? I think that in the NBA, I like the Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets meeting in the finals. I like Denver winning it all. I do. I think it'll go to 7. Boston's good, but I think, yeah. I like the whole West overall versus the East overall right now, so I would go with Denver. Hockey, boy, it's hard to go against the Rangers, isn't it? I mean, boy, they've been tough all year. From start to finish, they're your President's Trophy winner. President's Trophy is the team that gets the most points because you get 2 points for a win and then 1 point for an overtime win or loss, or for the loss, not for the win. But so you get points in hockey. That's how they. So the President Cups is called. History has told us that more than often than not, the President's Trophy winner does not win the Stanley Cup. I'm still going to go with the Rangers. Who do I like? Maybe they're playing Winnipeg, the Jets. Right. Canada's got 4 teams. They're talking they might get the cup. Yeah, back in Canada, that'd be first time in 23, 24 years? Man. So, Andy, what? It's time to go clean up garbage. Andy says it's time to clean up garbage on this Earth Day, 2024. So, without further ado, we're going to get out there. We're going to pick up some garbage. Everybody, come on now. It may be Earth Day, but spay and neuter. Adopt. Do not shop. Foster. Rescue. Volunteer. Get involved. I got a very warm phone call this weekend from someone that I didn't expect who wanted to get involved. Touched me. So get involved. And how about adopt a shelter pet today? Until next week, Andy, we're done. Andy says we're done. Get out there and go clean some stuff up. Then you can do something else. Have a great, great, great Earth Day. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.